Bang! Welcome to Cryptocurrency Blockchain News, a cryptocurrency blockchain aggregated news show on YouTube. It's going to be drinking. It's going to be smoking. It's going to be swearing. You've been warned. So look. Here I come. 3, 2, 1. Bang! Welcome, everybody. Black, white, gay, straight, Christian, Muslim, Jew. Welcome. My name is Shomari Clarke. Welcome to Cryptocurrency Blockchain News. You are now about to witness the greatest show on earth. Greatest show. Look! In the multiverse. Greatest daggone show in the daggone multiverse. Bang! We have a great show for you today. All right, everybody. What a week. What a week. So we're here to wrap up this week in crypto. What a gorgeous week. We got approvals and different stuff. So we're going to talk about them and get everyone's mind right about what is actually happening. What is actually happening, okay? Getting everyone's mind right. So today we're going to talk about how about the U.S. House of Representatives here in the American Congress approved FIT21, which is a comprehensive package, regulatory package for the whole crypto market. I'd call it similar to the package the Europeans passed last year called the MiCA regs, MiCA, Markets and Crypto Assets regs, which covers, the whole thing, everything. What can you make out of them? What can you charge? What can you, all of it. What's leverage you can have? All of it, right? And so that's our version called FIT21. So we're going to talk about that, which is great. And today we had ETF approval. Well, not like the Bitcoin ones. It's not quite like the Bitcoin ones. These aren't going to start trading tomorrow. Right now it is 6:34 Eastern Standard Time here in the United States of America. And we are just over a hurdle. So I'm going to teach you what the hurdle is and stuff like that. Then we're going to do the shout outs and daily summary as per usual. All right, so let's begin how we begin with a bit of bang. And then we head on over here and we do a little bit of bang. And then we do a little refresh. All right, price of Bitcoin, $67,579. When I left you last time, we were at $61,346. So we have gone up. $6,233. Bang! Yes, great news. All right. So let's, we start with the macros. So, all right, Bitcoin crashed. We had some bad CPI numbers. We went through it last video, so I'm not going to go over it, right? Then remember the Iranian-Israeli thing happened. Bang, bang, bang. We went all the way down. Then we started getting some good numbers and good talk. That's especially the thing. Some good talk out of the Bank of England, some good talk with the Bank of New Zealand. In terms of the interest rate level, the fight for inflation. So kind of we've been going up now. And, here we are. We're at 67, better than 61, damn it, That's what I want. I want us to be, of course I'd like us to go to the moon, but honestly, if we're in the high 60s, ranging for now, when we get the next catalyst, bang, we'll fly again. So all we need is another catalyst. Everyone's talking risk on pretty much nowadays in terms of the global financial system. So, which is good for crypto, right? You saw when we got those good CPI numbers and the good Bank of England talk, we started to see inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs again early last week. Right, I think we've had 8 days of positive flows again into the Bitcoin ETFs. Right after the Bank of England kind of signaled things are looking good, and the positive CPI print out of America. Right, I mean it's only one print, but everyone's desperate for some good news, and so that sent everything flying. And so here we are. We're at 67 something. We're going to need a new catalyst. And I know what you're saying. Like, Shomari, man, Why aren't we flying right now? I know you can see the charts right above my head there, right? Well, not the charts, but the prices, and actually we're down in the last hour. 5:15, the SEC announced the approvals, and I'm going to show you what these approvals are about. And so that was an hour and 10 minutes ago, and as you can see, we are going down. And I'm going to teach you why. I'm going to show you why. So let's just, so we're in the same thing. Let's just wrap this macro thing up. It's the same thing. We're fighting inflation. Nothing's going to go until we get price cuts. You know what I mean? Until we get some sort of price cuts. Rate cuts from one of the central banks, one of the CBs. That's what we're waiting for. That's what the markets, the global markets are, that's it. That's what it's all about right now. It's very simple like that. The first to rate cut, boom, boom, boom. And some nice dovish talk. Talk of rate cuts is even a good thing, which is what the Bank of England did last week. So, but obviously, numbers control the global markets, and so we need those numbers to be real and be good. Today we had lots of PMI out, all of it positive. So, not necessarily above 50. When PMI is the Purchasing Managers Index. So a number above 50 is positive, right? So some numbers were below 50, like some of the numbers out of Europe were below 50, but they were more than last month's numbers. So it would have been like, they would have been at like 44.3 last month. Well, now they're at 47.8, right? Still below 50, but better than being back down there. Okay, so that's it. So that's the macro. PMI looking good. That's the Purchasing Managers Index. That's an index. That's an indicator of sort of the global feel. Like, how does business feel, right? The purchasing managers are the guys in a company, and they know how much product their company is expecting to sell and all that. And so you ask them, like, well, how do you feel about your market? Like, you sell oranges. How do you feel about that? You sell, Bluetooth speakers. How do you feel? And so that gives you a sense of how business is feeling, right? Like when COVID hit, yeah, PMI was at like 20 and 18 and shit, right? Yeah, they felt horrible. They can't sell shit. Everyone's locked down, right? So anyways, PMI is coming back up. Okay, so boom. That is your macro master information. Hope you understood that. All right, let's do how we do with the top 10 of the day, brothers and sisters. You know who they are. The usual band of miscreants and suspects. Top 10, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, USDC, XRP, Dogecoin, Toncoin into the number 10, and Cardano just barely holding on to the number 10. Look, let's look at market moves of the day. Single digits up, single digits down. Bingy, bingy, bing, bing. Boo, mostly blood red. The past 24 hours, blood red, blood red. Why, Shomari? We just got approval. I'm going to show you right now. Oh, Peppy, look at you. Yes, dumb money flowing in. Look, meme coins, the poor man's bitcoins. Single digits up, single digits down, wow, which is fine because, as long as you make profit, that's all you give a fuck about. Now, as an investor, don't let anyone diss you. I'm a kind of person, I'm very elitist with what I buy, what I put my money in. You got to actually be making money and shit like that. But look, dog, you going 100 times on that dog shit coin right there? Yo, baby, run that shit. Go for it. Look at Bonk, 10% up. Look at meme coins. All living large. All right, single this up, single this down. All right, let's see who lost money today. If you see anything here you like, go get it because, bang, it is on sale. Let's see what we're working with. Bang, top 10 losers. Hold on, let me get a sip. Yeah, don't let anyone diss you. Right. Look, it's like a lottery ticket, man. You might hit. There were those of us who were building for in a more traditional style, more for the big money, traditional money, and long-term gains. But look, if you can make a quick kill, go for it. All right. Let's get real though. Most people in the meme coin market They buy one, buy one, buy one, buy one, goes down, buy it, go down, buy it, go down, buy it, go down. It's the few that finally, because there's so many of them, you don't know, half of these things on Solana are rug pulls, But if you hit that lottery ticket, bang, all right. Top 10 losers, Ordi, Arweave, Singularity Net. No, not you, Singularity Net. iOS Network. Oh, trust me, that Sophia's going to get them for this. Just kidding. All right. AI's Network, Akash Network, Core, Fetch AI. Fetch AI? What's up with the AI stock? What do you call these? Networks going down, right? Singularity Net. AI. AIOZ, obviously AI. Fetch, you all know. Fetch is AI, right? Huh. Why today? NVIDIA just got great numbers, came out today. They murdered it. Was that today or yesterday? Anyway, whenever. They murdered it anyway, though. But Akash Network, Core, Fetch AI, Render, and Pith Network holding on to the number 10. Let's see who made money today. Bang. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Uh-oh, look at you, Edwin, Ondo, bang, bang, look. All right, top 10 of the day, brothers and sisters. Pepe, Bonk, Ondo, Ethereum Classic, Arbitrum, Gnosis, Pendle, Ronin, and Starknet, holding on the number 10. So look, let's look at the total market cap, $2.54 trillion. When I left you last time, we're at $2.27 trillion, so we have gone up. 0.27. Oh, sorry, not $1 trillion. Oh, yeah, it is $1 trillion, yes. $0.27 trillion. Let's see. Oh, yes, 24 volume. Looking sweet. You know what, brothers and sisters? Daggone it. Unless we're over 100 billion, I really kind of don't really even give a fuck, But now, here we go. Now we're back in proper numbers. Back into the game. Okay, we are at $138.78 billion. When I left you last time, we actually went down? Fuck. Shit. All right, when I left you last time, we were at $157 billion. We've gone down. But look, anything over 100 billion, dog, I'm just happy, you know what I mean? 10 billion here, 10 billion there, give or take, whatever, man. Just be over 100 billion, you know what I mean? And I'm, now you got me, Remember, volume, what volume means is activity. Right? It could be buying, could be selling. It doesn't matter. But it's activity, buyers and sellers exchanging an asset, right? In this case, cryptocurrencies, exchanging cryptocurrencies, right? And so you just want to see a lot of activity because what it really shows is interest. If there's that much activity, that means there's a lot of interest going on. In other words, people are interested and they're in there playing the game, buying and selling, right? That's why you want to look at volume, right? In fact, I told you guys, actually, we could even do it right now. Let's look at the top 10 in volume today of cryptos. Top 10 in volume today. Actually, I did tell you we were going to do that, right? So this shows where the interest is. Today's money, all the money that came in today, the Tether thing might be different because people are using that to buy and sell crypto, right? So for the stable coins, I don't count that as interest or activity, because you're just using it to buy something else, right? Or cash out into it or whatever. So, but the top today was, there you go. Ethereum was number 1 today in activity. In other words, that's interest. That's where people were most active. That's where the party was. It's the same thing like when you look at the stock market, right? They always have top 10 in volume, right? Well, that's why. Because they're showing you where people's eyes are that day. Right? That's what shows you what people are looking at that day. The market went up this much. Yeah, but which ones were they buying? Right? The NASDAQ went up today, 100 points. Yeah, but which stocks in the NASDAQ were people playing with? Well, that's when you look at volume. Most volume in, I'm sure, NVIDIA was today. That's where the interest was. That's where the activity was. That's where the party was, the buying and the selling, longing and shorting. Bulls and bearing, bang, bang, look, right? That's the party. That's, I love it. That's where you get volume. I did tell you we were going to start looking at volume. So let's start, as of today, volume is going to be another feature of our macro overview. Just to see on the daily basis, today at least, who had the most action. So Ethereum had the most action. Bitcoin had the second most. Volume for Ethereum was 44.8 billion. Volume for Bitcoin was 41.6 billion. Oops. The fire truck's going out here. And then it's stablecoin, and then Solana comes in. And I would call it third because in third, like I said, stablecoins aren't going to count, right? Because people are just using those to buy other stuff or whatever, right? That's not really activity. It's more of a necessity. They're being used as a utility, as a tool to get the shit you want, right? To buy the shit you want. All right, so they don't count. But Solana comes in at number 3, 5 billion in activity. Pepe comes in at number 4 with 4.2 billion in activity. I count BNB coin, 2.6 in activity. Dogecoin, 2.2 billion in activity. XRP, 2.1 billion in activity. And let's go one more. Arbitrum, plummeting, but down to 1.5 billion in activity. So you see, that's what we're looking. That shows you where the money went today, right? Like, because we could go down, right? But how much money was in sort of a coin you like, right? Like, see, Bonk, yeah, Bonk had $1 billion. Dog Whiff had just under $1 billion. That's what I mean. Like, if you get lucky and buy some dumb shit like that, but it flies a gazillion times, you get rich as, you're rich as a motherfucker now. Yeah. I'm not encouraging that behavior, though. So here it goes, right? And it goes down, 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 down. Right? It goes down, 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 down. So now we're into the millions of dollars, the hundreds of millions of dollars in terms of activity, volume, which means activity. Bang, bang, look, look, look. So, okay, we're going to start doing that. All right, but now let's get to the stories. Bang. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Bang. Forgot to gotta aim my weapon. I banged it the wrong look. All right, guys. U.S. House approves crypto FIT21 bill with wave of Democratic support. Yes. So it was a bipartisan bill. Democrats and Republicans. And that's rare in America right now. These motherfuckers, they just don't agree on anything, If they agree on something, it's like, oh, well, the other one won or the other one won. Well, I don't give a fuck about which you guys think won. How about you think about us making the American people win, motherfucker? How about that? Yeah, I don't give a fuck who passed the law as long as it's a win for me, right? We hire you to help us. Not necessarily help us, but, keep shit together and do, and your mind should be to do our interests. Right? Instead, they're wondering, well, which one of them is going to look better? Which one of them is going to look bad in an election? Fuck all that. Think about, the American people. All right, but stop. Enough of, I don't want to get into. But, and so I guess the reason I'm saying that is finally, they're thinking of the interests of the American people. And, that's one thing that is about Congress is when it comes to money, they can get together. They're both the money party. You know what I mean? They both, let me put it this way. Bank of America gives money to both parties every year. Our election cycle. You know what I mean? Charles Schwab gives money to both parties. They cover their bases. Google, Microsoft, they give money to both parties, right? So, they cover their bases. And so, when it comes to money, that's the one thing these motherfuckers can agree on, right? I mean, let's get real. Congress are a bunch of millionaires, right? They're no regular people up in that bitch. They're millionaires, most of them, right? It's all their friends are millionaires. So when it comes to money and finance, investing, stock markets, all that, they usually come together and get her done. And so, which is great for us, We finally have a bill passing through Congress, which gives us the full regulatory clarity that we've been waiting for 6 years, right? I've been talking about that on this channel for 6 years, since this channel started, right? One day, guys, one day, promising people. Trust me, guys, trust me. We're going to have regulatory clarity one day, right? Because you have to, right? It has to happen. And so I've been preaching it. And so here we are. So now, let's get real. This is only past the House, right? You know, every Congress has an upper and lower chamber. So it's past the lower chamber. Now it goes to the Senate. Yeesh. The question will be passed in the Senate, or will the Senate amend it? That means change a little bit of it and then send it back down to the House to approve the amended version. So you know how America works, but it's pretty bipartisan, right? So it's not like, oh, no, we got to worry because the Democrats are running the Senate. They're not going to let it go. No. Both sides want this thing. It's just how it's going to come out. So I guarantee you we are going to get this thing. We're going to get this thing. Before Election Day, I don't know about that. You know how these American politicians work. But we're going to get this thing. You know, I mean, they could fast track it. Or, you know, they could let it sit. So we'll see. Okay, so now let's read, though, but actually what happened. So I want to show you what happened. Well, I want to show you what happened, so let's read. So U.S. House approves crypto FIT21 bill with wave of Democratic support. The House's passage of the digital asset legislation passes the crypto baton to the Senate. So now this bill goes off to the Senate, where odds remain low for decisive action. So, look, I'm going to tell you, you know, look, trust me, just like these guys said there was going to be a hard landing, and I told you, that guys, settle down. We ain't having a recession. Trust me, I'm gonna tell you my opinion. I'm gonna read this, but I'm also gonna just fill you in on my true opinion, which is usually right, as you all know, if you watch this channel since the beginning, right? How things go down. Except for, I know, Noah Fest. You said Noah Fest was gonna be in 2020. Yes. I know, that's the one thing I got disastrously wrong. That sucks. But everything else, brothers, you daggone well now. We got the regs, we got the investment vehicles, now we got the milestones. Like I told you, so settle down. Okay, brothers, though. So look, the U.S. House vote goes 279 to 136 to approve the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, with a very strong showing from House Democrats. The passage of the Crypto Market Structure Bill marks the industry's most significant legislative accomplishment in Congress. Bye! This is what we've been waiting for. This is what I've been talking to you on this channel about forever, right? A comprehensive package, right? That's what we need, regulatory clarity. Why? Because once there's regulatory clarity, then banks and fund masters and hedge funds and all that know the rules of the road. They know, like, what regulatory clarity is you're giving institutions, funds, banks, all those big guys, family offices, high net worth individuals, endowments, everything, the laws of how you and your institution, if you so choose, can invest in crypto. Oh, yeah. In a regulated, licensed fashion. Yes. That's what's necessary, right? Like, this place is still the Wild West, right? Just a bunch of motherfuckers throwing up an exchange and then, doing what they fucking well please. Well, you have to have consumer protections, first of all, so things like Celsius, Mt. Gox, FTX don't happen to people, or if it does go bankrupt, well, the people get their money back, right? So you need proper insurance standards and blah, 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 like that. And that's what these sort of packages, oh, my nails are all dirty. Don't mind my nails, guys. Those are the sort of packages, well, that's what they clarify, right? That's why the MiCA regs in Europe, right? Markets and crypto assets. Yeah, everything's there. Everyone knows the laws. If I'm an endowment and I want to invest in crypto, these are the sort of investment vehicles I can engage in. Am I allowed to have this much leverage, that much leverage? Well, these are the kind of investment vehicles leveraged vehicles I can engage with. Blah, 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 blah. Like, the laws are there now. The rules are there. The rules of the road. Now, once you've got the rules of the road, now you need guys to build the investment vehicles. What's an investment vehicle? I'm going to make a quick explanation just for people if you're new to this channel or you don't know. An investment vehicle is a way to invest in something, okay? A way to invest in an asset. So I'm going to take a Microsoft stock. Here's a Microsoft stock. Yeah, well, I can invest in this stock by buying it, right? Just buy it and hold it in my TD Ameritrade account. I can invest in it by buying a futures contract on it. I can invest in it by buying, like, say, a put or call option on it on the options market. I can invest in it through some sort of fund, ETF, through an exchange-traded fund, which we're going to talk about later, actually. I can invest in it through a mutual fund, and then just millions of funds and other millions of ways. So, but I just want to be quick about it. So those are vehicles. Those are called investment vehicles. All these ways get my portfolio exposure to the price of this thing, the Microsoft share, right? That's an investment vehicle. This thing, and I can invest in it all these different ways. Buy it, futures contract, ETF, mutual fund, options contract, bang. You know, like those are the simple, easy ones everybody knows. So those are investment vehicles, and so we need the same for crypto. So we need, like, bang, here's crypto now. Yeah, well, look. We need motherfuckers to start building futures contracts on ETFs. Yes, which they have. They have. Well, just on Bitcoin and Ethereum here in America, and you guys in Europe, I haven't really heard you guys even fucking with futures contracts on crypto yet, but you are building with the ETPs, which is Europeans have what's called ETPs, which are similar to America's ETFs. There's just a couple little technicals different, but, you know, how much taxes you pay or how much you can cash out or whatever, but same shit, same concept. You know, now we need the Europeans to, so that's what they've played with so far, but now we need all these ones. And America, we need this thing passed so that we can build these, right? Hedge funds don't buy crypto. Like, a hedge fund is never just going to buy Bitcoin and hold it for their clients, right? They'll buy, more like a leveraged investment vehicle offering. So maybe an options contract or a leveraged ETF on it. They buy leveraged stuff. They don't buy vanilla like retailers, like, really. You know what I mean? So these are the vehicles that are needed to unleash that money. In other words, that money wants in, right? That big money, they want into this space. They want into crypto hard. You saw what happened when the Bitcoin spot ETF came out. Bang, bang, billions early. It did right at the beginning. Billions. They're hungry for it. I've told you they're hungry. I've told you on this channel there is a tsunami of money waiting to come to this space. Our brother Benjamin showed us a video of Jamie Dimon the other day. He was like, look, there's a lot of great innovation in that space. If I could come get it, I would. Yeah, and he's just a bank. Never mind. Think of what the hedge fund guys are thinking. Think of what the family offices are thinking. Think about just people like you and I, but who have a lot of money, are thinking. Right? They're not stupid. They know the same we do. Right? Your V-Chains, your IOTAs, your Stellars, they're actually being used in the real world. Right? They're not just concept on a white paper and a fancy, glitzy website. People use that shit. Pay to use that shit. Right? Look! That's what's going down around these parts. That's what's going down around these parts, boys and girls. And so, back to the investment vehicles. This is what we need. And so I'm going to show you, like the ETF where I'm going to read about the Ethereum one, that's an investment vehicle. And so the only way we get those vehicles in order for them to get our Bitcoins and our altcoins, and I'm sure they'll probably make a fucking meme coin ETF. They'll do it. You'll see. They'll do it. And but in order to be able to build those vehicles for this space, you need the regs. You need the rules of the road. And that's what Congress has finally done today. Well, not given it. Congress has done it. Now it goes to the Senate. You all know how America works. Congress passes something and then hands it to the Senate. Or the Senate will pass something and hand it to Congress, right? And then once they've both voted on the same thing, then it goes to the president to sign that shit and let her rip, right? Okay, so now let's read. Yes, brothers and sisters. The crypto industry recorded its biggest ever U.S. policy win on Wednesday when the House of Representatives approved a wide-reaching bill to establish regulation for digital asset markets, recording a 279 to 136 vote that saw Democrats crossing party lines to support it. So it's bipartisan. So the Financial Innovation and Technology Act for the 21st century marks the first time a major crypto bill has cleared one of the chambers of Congress. The issue now heads to the U.S. Senate, where its future is much murkier. Now, I told you this isn't going to be good news that I'm about to read you, but I'm going to give you my interpretation as well, which is a little more bullish than what this guy's saying here. But you should have both sides of the story, right? You should, you know what I mean? We can debate the issue, and at the end, we'll see how it goes down. But I'm a little more bullish. Let's just put it this way. But I'm going to read this to you, though, just so you can hear the other side of the story. So the issue now heads to the U.S. Senate, where its future is much murkier because there's no counterpart bill. Support for such an effort remains unclear there. And so that's what they're saying, right? Like, because usually, and I'll explain what they meant there. So usually when some sort of big piece of legislation is going to happen, the Senate writes a bill about it and the Congress writes a bill about it, right? The House, so the House and the Senate, they both write their own bills about it, and then they mush them together, throw out parts of this, throw out parts of that, and mush it, and it becomes one bill, right? That's kind of how they do it. And so what they're trying to say there is that while the Senate hasn't even worked up a counter bill yet, you know, something to address the same issues as the House bill, right? The House bill addresses issue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, the Senate hasn't made what they think should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like the rules for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so the House is going to send something up, but the Senate's going to have to do their own, and then we start mushing together. So this is not instant. This isn't going to be instant. Obviously. This hasn't even gone to committee yet. And so, and here it says it right here. And so there's no counterpart bill. So let's continue on. So we're right here now. Support for such an effort remains unclear there. And the necessary committees haven't done the same level of work on crypto, right? The Senate hasn't done one yet. So, but the way that he's saying it, it remains murky. I don't know if it's murky. It just means like slower. They're going to have to do it, you know? But it doesn't mean like they're not going to do it. Well, we'll see. Let's just read. Well, they're not, then they will do it. So don't worry about it. Trust me. I don't give a fuck what this fuckstick says. So the U.S. has fallen behind of other global jurisdictions in establishing crypto regulations. Bang! Exactly. The Europeans and the Chinese came through. The number 2 and number 3 economy in the world. Yeah, MiCA regs. That's what I've been talking about earlier this show. MiCA, M-I-C-A. Markets of crypto assets. Yeah, the Europeans figured it out. Like, look, we've got to figure this shit out. So they took a few years and they figured it out. Yeah, and then they served the chicken. Look, let me tell you, if you're new to this channel, sometimes in life you get the chicken. Yeah. Sometimes you only get the feathers. So the European Union, bang! For us crypto people, they served the chicken. And the Chinese even. Don't forget that. The Chinese have served the chicken. And they're a bunch of fucking communists. So what does that say about America? I'm not dissing you, America. I love you, but seriously, what does that say about you? When a bunch of commies can approve ETFs. And this is America, the land of money, capitalism overhype. Nobody's happy unless they've got $1 million in their bank account here in America. You're a failure if you don't have $1 million in America, right? What does that say about you, America? We gonna get these regs or what, dog? Look, but I'll tell you one thing. Once we do get them, well, you know how America be, you know how America do, you know how America get down. They're gonna unleash madness and mayhem on the markets. All those vehicles, trust me, they'll all be unleashed right away. Right? The Europeans have had a year, and they've only unleashed the ETPs, and I think that's all they've unleashed. Yeah, well, trust me, when America gets the regs, give it about 4 or 5 months, they're gonna have all of it. You know how Americans are. They're gonna want this money. They're gonna take it. If you guys don't take it, Europe, they're going to come and take your lunch that you had the chance to take. All right. The U.S. has fallen behind other global jurisdictions. We just talked about that in establishing the regs. Despite the win on Wednesday, implementing such oversight is far from complete. We need rules of the road, said Rep. Josh Gottheimer, Democrat from New Jersey, one of the Democrats who bucked the opposition of the White House, and the ranking Democrat on the House Financial Services Committee, Rep. Maxine Waters. He called it well-reasoned, thoughtful, bipartisan legislation. Exactly. Well thought out. You know, Republicans do a little bit, Democrats do a little bit. It's bipartisan. Let's pass this motherfucker. That's how things should work, how they used to work. They do not work like that in this day and age. So, overall, 71 Democrats and 208 Republicans voted in favor of the bill versus 3 Republicans and 133 Democrats who voted against. President Joe Biden opposed the bill with a policy statement, though he didn't say he'd veto the bill, as he had recently when Congress sought to overturn his SEC effort to set crypto accounting policy. SEC Chair Gary Gensler also came out strongly against the legislation in a lengthy public statement, arguing the bill wasn't needed and endangered existing securities regulations. The legislation largely driven... Okay, so let's talk about Gensler right there. So Gensler, he looks at things from the SEC's point of view, but there's another major regulator here called the CFTC, right? And that's the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. And so a lot of people consider some of these assets commodities. Some view them as securities. So if you think that cryptocurrency is a commodity, you want the CFTC to regulate it. I know if you're a crypto maximalist, you don't want any regulation, but get over it. That's exactly what we're going to get and exactly what we need. So now you've got 2 agencies to choose from. You've got the CFTC, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, Commodities Commission, or the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. So if it's a commodity, this crypto will be regulated under the CFTC, or your particular crypto, whatever you like or whatever is in your portfolio. If it becomes a commodity, it will be regulated under the CFTC. If what you have in your portfolio is a security, it will be regulated under the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, right? Those are our 2 commissions. And so Gensler, and I agree with him, he says that most of these are securities, which they are. I think so. I personally don't care how they regulate them, though. I just want them to regulate them so the money comes. But I view them as securities, and I view Bitcoin and Ethereum as commodities since, no one controls Bitcoin. There's no SEC of, there's no CEO of Bitcoin, right? In Ethereum too, right? There's creators of Ethereum, but there's no CEO of it. Whereas, there's a CEO of Cardano. There's a CEO of just whatever you own, right? Except meme coins, I guess. Most of those are just made by some fucker in his mom's basement. But, the major blockchains, there's a CEO of VeChain, right? There's a CEO of SingularityNet, right? And they've got employees and stuff. They're just companies. And so these, to me, are securities. And so it doesn't matter how they regulate these. I don't know why crypto bros care so much, because they're going to get regulated one way or the other. And in terms of the investment vehicles that are going to be allowed to come here, it's not going to, what your regulatory status is, whether a commodity or a security, is not going to change that these can come and allow access to this space. So who gives a fuck, right? These guys are kind of making a false controversy, something to talk about kind of thing. It doesn't really matter. If you're regulated as a commodity, okay. Like, if they regulate, I don't know, Solana as a commodity, fine. There's still going to be options on it, ETFs on it, mutual funds on it, ETFs on it, just different investment vehicles on it, right? And if it's a security, well, those same vehicles are going to come to it. So there'll be different regulatory standards and probably different sort of tax implications, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So for you and I, don't worry about what it's regulated as. Just worry that it does get regulated. Once regulation occurs, these vehicles can be built, and then the tsunami of money we've been waiting for can arrive. And you saw what happened when the Bitcoin ETF, spot ETFs were approved. Well, now imagine that times 1 million once we have full clarity. All right. And that's, you guys know I don't exaggerate around here, right? So that's the level. All right. So now, yes, I wanted to talk to you seriously there. Make sure you fucking get it. So the legislation, largely driven by House Republicans, would establish a regime to regulate the U.S. crypto markets, setting consumer protections, installing the CFTC as a leading regulator of digital assets, and the watchdog of the non-security spot markets, and it will more clearly define what makes a crypto token a security or a commodity. So that's what's necessary, right? That's the beauty of this legislation. Like, what is a security and what is a commodity? And it looks like this piece of legislation is sort of looking at crypto as a commodity, right? They're setting consumer protections and they are installing the Commodities Futures Trading Commission as the leading regulator of the digital asset space and the watchdog of the non-securities spot markets. So, commodities. All right, so that's what this piece of legislation says. It looks like they are viewing crypto as commodities. Fine with me. I don't give a fuck. Just regulate the shit. And it also tells you how to view like what is a commodity and what's not. All right, in the crypto space. So Waters argued that the bill is seeking. It's Maxine Waters argued that the bill is seeking to let crypto businesses who have been dodging securities laws avoid responsibility. They've already made millions of dollars unlawfully issuing or facilitating the buying and selling of crypto securities, Waters said, and Republicans are now proposing to reward these illegal activities by making these activities legal. Well, I will look at it a different way. They're not making these activities legal. The actions that the people were doing should have been legal before. You motherfuckers didn't get around to legislate it, right? It's like marijuana. If you live in a state like California or wherever marijuana is legal here in America, yeah, the legislation is caught up to the reality that everybody knows marijuana should not be illegal. It's not going to turn you insane. It's not going to turn you into a rapist, froth mouth murderer. You're going to get a little hungry and fall asleep, right? So the legislation is caught up. Now, some people say, well, but you're legalizing bad behavior. No. We are legalizing behavior we don't think is bad in the first place. People are getting in trouble for something we don't think they should have been getting in trouble for already. Right? And that's what is happening with this legislation is, yeah, these crypto guys are getting in a lot of trouble, but they shouldn't be getting in trouble. So we're going to give them regs. I mean, they're still going to have to do what the regs say, but they shouldn't have been getting in trouble in the first place. Right? And so the lawmakers have finally written the law to say that. And it's actually the lawmakers' fault that these crypto guys were getting in trouble in the first place because they took their sweet ass time. Well, and it's not over yet, but they're taking their sweet ass time in giving these regulations, in giving regulatory clarity. Right? It's Congress's fault. So, yeah, fuck. I mean, I've been telling you this for years, right? Everyone blames Gensler, and everyone blamed the guy before Gensler. Can't remember his name, right? Look, dickheads. The SEC is just a cop. Yeah, well, cops enforce laws. Yeah, laws that politicians make, motherfucker. Right? Cops don't make laws. If a cop doesn't like the color blue and he starts arresting everyone with a blue shirt on, well, he's not allowed to. Right? He's not allowed to do that. What am I under arrest for, officer? I don't know what he'd call it, I don't even know what he'd make up a name, just wearing a blue shirt. But that's not illegal. Well, I'm a cop. I can make up the law. No, you're not allowed to make up the law. You can only arrest me for stuff that the politicians already said I'm not allowed to do, right? We're not allowed to do. Right? And that's the SEC. The SEC is busting people, well, because that's the law right now. right? The Howey test. Well, if you're not meeting the Howey test, well, and you're selling securities, well, that's the law, dick, right? I got to bust you. No, I want to bust you. Go blame Congress. So now, here we are. Congress is finally done this. And so now Gensler, or sorry, is it Gensler? Yeah, now Gensler's going to know, well, when this passes, what I could bust people for. Okay, so look, blah, blah, blah. So that's her, though, right? Like, no, we're giving laws so that what they're doing is not criminal anymore. It's not a reward. Shouldn't have been criminal in the first place. So prior to Wednesday afternoon's vote, the House debated a handful of amendments on the bill, blah, 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 to change crowdfunding, blah, 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 blah. All right, fuck all that. So bang, though. Look, bang, look, bang. This is what we've been waiting for. So now, this is what we've been waiting for. Regulatory clarity coming out of America, the biggest market in the world. And you know how Americans do. You know how Americans be. You know how Americans get down. Once they pop the lid on this motherfucker, once they let the genie out of the bottle here, yeah, we're going to be rich as fuck. Yeah, like as fuck. Not just rich, but as fuck. That's right. We're going to get the kit and the caboodle. The whole kit and caboodle. The kit and the caboodle. We're going to get everything. Now, obviously, this is not going to be next week or anything, so settle down. I'll keep you informed about it on this space. You brothers in the chat, you know how I roll with you. I'll probably make you guys watch a few hearings and shit about it. Look, you know how I do. My soldiers out there, I'll whip him into shape. Watch that hearing, you daggone little miscreant. You daggone. So look. And so that's great news for us. Bang! The beginning of regulatory clarity, or the beginnings of the possibility of regulatory clarity in America. Shomari, do you think they're going to pass it? I know they're going to pass it. This is bipartisan. But it's just how long, right? Is the Senate going to, so like I showed you, is the Senate going to look at the House bill and just say, okay, well, we'll just write something very similar and that'll be the end of it and we'll pass this? Or, fuck, please no, are they going to come with some radically different one? And then it'll take time in conference for them to figure out what stuff stays and what stuff goes, right? So, fuck. So let's hope that, let's just hope this gets done quickly. All right, let's get to the next story. Bye. The big one of the day, Ethereum ETF approval. But is it an approval? Well, it's not the same. Yes, it's an approval in a sense, but it's not the same, but it's not full approval. It's not full approval. It's just the tip, right? Let me just the tip. So this is just the tip, gentlemen. Ladies, you understand. It's just the tip, guys. So Ethereum ETFs clear major hurdle, though the SEC has not cleared them for trading yet. Let me bang that. Actually, I don't want to bang it, but I'll just highlight it, right? It hasn't been cleared for trading yet. Yeah, I like to bang good news. I'm not going to bang shit like that, but. So you see how it works. You know, when it comes to an SEC filing, and they're going to explain it. I don't know how to file a ETF, but I mean, I know how it works. So there's two pieces of paper. There's an S1, and then there's this other one. So they approved the other one today, but the S1s still need approval. So, well, let's just read on, okay? So a week ago, I would have said you were a little crazy to think that these ETFs were going to get SEC approval, a Bloomberg analyst said. Wow, that's just stupid. That's just nonsense, right? Which analyst said that? I think they're just making that up. Everyone know they were going to get approved because the SEC got beat in court. So, yeah, that's stupid. I mean, unless the guy was really just an idiot and really didn't know. So look. So, and I want to read this part here, so, because this is the chicken right here. Like I said, sometimes you get the chicken, sometimes you get the feathers. Here, on this channel, I bring you the chicken of the story, you know? Not just the blah, blah, blah of the story, because there's a lot of blah, blah, blah and a lot of stories. I'm just here to serve you chicken. I haven't got time to talk about that other shit. So, the Security and Exchange Commission on Thursday approved the what? The 19B4 forms filed by issuers looking to launch a spot Ethereum exchange traded fund, marking a key step forward in bringing the fund on the market. So only one of the forms. They did not approve the S1s yet. In fact, the S1s are being amended as I speak. So as I speak, I want to show you. So this is the guy that I look at. Him and his buddy are, when I want to know about ETFs, I look at these guys. They work for Bloomberg. If you know what Bloomberg is, well, yeah. They're the information center power of just financial world. So this is what he said. He said, boom, approved. So this was 2 hours ago when it was approved. It is now 7:20 p.m. Boom, approved. That is it. Oh, there it is. The SEC just approved spot Ethereum ETFs. What a turn of events. It's really happening. And here's the actual approval. But now he says this, right? But just to be clear, he says, just to be clear, this does not mean they will begin trading tomorrow. This is just the 19B-4 approvals. Also needs to be approved are the S1 documents, which is going to take time. We're expecting it to take a couple weeks, but could take longer. Should know more of this within a week or so. So these guys are they work for Bloomberg. They're the ETF analysts, right? Like this is the kind of shit the kind of chicken I serve you here on this channel. Like I don't listen to Crypto Billy and Larky Snarty and blah, 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 or whatever their little names are, right? I listen to Masters. And I encourage all of you to listen to Masters. Okay, so going to add here, typically this process takes months. So that's the reality. The approval of S1s could take months, like up to 5 months in some examples. But Eric Balchunas, and I think, so this is Balchunas. You see he is the senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg. Yeah, he's not some crypto little boy, what do you call these guys? Crypto bros. And no, he's a real master. And then a dad, Rutgers, blah, blah, blah. Fuck all that. Good for you, buddy. And I think this was at least somewhat accelerated. And I think this will be at least somewhat accelerated. So, ETFs were at least 90 days, or the Bitcoin ETFs were at least 90 days before the S1s. So we'll know more soon. So that's the reality. We do not have Ethereum ETFs fully licensed or regulated to launch yet. Only one part of their filing has been approved so far. So look, but let's read on. Spot Ethereum exchange traded funds took a giant leap towards reality on Thursday after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission approved key regulatory filings tied to them, a milestone for the second largest cryptocurrency. They are not yet cleared to trade, and that's what we really give a fuck about. When can motherfuckers trade that shit? They're not cleared to trade, though. The SEC gave its blessing to the so-called 19B-4 forms tied to the ETFs. But the regulator must approve the S1 filings before the investors can buy them. So they've approved kind of like, all right, well, but, now when can we sell them? Look, you got to pause there, brother, pause. So the approval follows a stunning turnaround by the markets regulator. After clearing spot Bitcoin ETFs earlier this year, the SEC didn't seem to engage much with the issuers on Ethereum ETFs. That changed in recent days. A week ago, I would have said you were a little crazy to think that these ETFs were going to get SEC approval. James Seifert. Oh, that's the guy that I just read to you. ETF analyst at Bloomberg Intelligence said in an interview ahead of the decision. So that's actually what I just read to you. Oh, I should have I don't know why I went to his actual thing. So in a statement, a Grayscale spokesperson confirmed the regulator had approved its 19B-4. At Grayscale, we appreciate the opportunity to engage constructively with regulators as they review spotcoin Ethereum BTFs, and we remain optimistic about the potential of bringing Ethereum further into the U.S. regulatory perimeter in the ETF wrapper. Bang! Right? In the ETF wrapper, in the ETF investment vehicle. We want to bring this asset into the markets through this vehicle, through the ETF wrapper. Let me bang it even. We want to bring it into the U.S. regulatory perimeter, and we want to put it in a bang ETF wrapper. Investment vehicle. Investment vehicles. This is what we need for the masters to come. Motherfuckers who are ready to spend tens of millions at a time type shit. Right? So, Would-be spot Ether ETF issuers include BlackRock, Fidelity, of course, and then these miscreants, Grayscale, Van Eck, Franklin Templeton, and ARC21 shares. Actually, Franklin Templeton, they're rude-wise. They're rude-wise. They're badasses, too. So although the approval of the 19B-4 filings suggests the regulators are willing to allow issuers to bring a spot Ethereum ETF on the market, it doesn't guarantee that they will ultimately approve the final S1 forms filed by all issuers. So, there's the dilemma. It's any guarantee on a technical basis. Now, do you think they're going to go through these motions for naught? Of course not. They're going to approve them eventually. Well, I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know, but I think so, especially with something so public. If you were going to approve them, you wouldn't have approved the 19B-4s, right? You would have said, yeah, fuck all you guys, right? Which, remember, they did a lot of times back in the days when we used to talk about ETFs. Remember, they used to deny. Or they didn't deny. Sorry, my bad. They didn't deny, but they just wouldn't give their ruling. Remember that, guys? Back in like 2020. All right, so where were we? They will ultimately approve the final. Oh, it doesn't guarantee that they will ultimately approve. So, so this is what I'm saying to you. Like, just they wouldn't go through all this and not approve them eventually. All they'll do is they'll make the guys who want to issue these ETFs amend the ETFs. And actually, I do have a little thing about an amendment already came. Let's go to Bakunis. So Bakunis also, he's a Bloomberg analyst. So this is where you want to get your market news, guys. You know, Bloomberg, Investors Business Daily, the Wall Street Journal and stuff like that. Yeah, you don't want to be getting it from Larky Darky or BTC Bobby or something like that. Those guys are a bunch of fucking, Walmart, ex-Walmart workers trying to pretend to know markets. Okay, so look. So this is what happened an hour ago. Van Eck wasting no time. Van Eck making amendment to their Ethereum ETF S1s already. So they got approved for their 19B-4s, and they've already amended their S1s tonight. Like right now. Fucking just right now. As I'm talking to you, so. Okay. Although the approval of the 19B-4s filings suggests that regulators are willing to allow issuers to bring a spot Ethereum ETF on the market, it doesn't guarantee that they will ultimately approve. Okay, we read that already. My bad. There's likely to be a gap before we see the S1 approvals and these ETFs begin trading. My guess is that this will take at least a week, but likely more. If history is any guide, it could be much longer and be measured in months. But I personally think the gap will be measured in weeks. Everyone is just guessing right now, though. So it's up in the air, man. How long is it going to take? Regulators sent a shockwave through the industry on Monday. When reports came out that issuers were asked to update their 19B-4s ahead of the SEC deadline to approve or deny. So that's when, right, like everyone was kind of thinking, man, this ain't going to work. The SEC ain't going to approve it. But then on Monday, on Monday, that's when the SEC was like, hey, guys, amend your shit. And that was like, oh, my gosh, they're really going to do this. So they did it, and they approved them. So next is the S1s. And this isn't over yet? Holy fuck, okay. Shit. All right, let's read on. An SEC spokesman said the agency would not comment beyond what's in the order published Thursday. In a statement, 21 Shares head of legal Andrew Jacobson said the approval was a significant step in the right direction. Indeed. CBOE GLED of head of ETP listings Rob Morocco said the exchange, which plans to list 5 different spot Ethereum ETF products, was excited to expand our offerings to the ETFs. The 19B-4 approval is a step forward to those listings, or toward those listings. The introduction of spot Bitcoin ETFs in January has already demonstrated significant benefits to the digital assets and ETF space. You're daggone right. Bang! That shows you the successful introduction of those. Showed you they're hungry. The masters are hungry. The institutional investors are hungry for an asset vehicle they can use to get into the space. A regulated, licensed investment vehicle they can use to get into this space. That's what they want. That's what they need. Right? They're not allowed to just come here and buy shit like Bitcoin and Pepe and shit. They're not allowed to do that. Especially off these shitty little, off of BitMEX and BitTrex. They'd be arrested and closed down. You're not allowed to do that. But once the vehicles arrive, well, look. Now you can unleash your client money into the space. And, start building your clients' portfolios in the space. And so the more vehicles, and also the more assets in this space we're allowed to, now they can build portfolios for their clients. Their analysts are going to come in and look at it all and be like, sir, we got to buy this, boom, for our clients. And bang, 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 look, that's what they're going to buy. Revenue generating product. We'll get to that later, though, but, we've gotten to it before, but I'm not going to get into that now, I should say. So the introduction of spot ETFs in January has already demonstrated significant benefits for the digital assets and ETF space, and we believe that spot Ethereum ETFs will similarly provide safeguards for U.S. investors, allowing them to gain Ethereum exposure in a transparent, well-regulated, and easily accessible structure, or an easily accessible investment vehicle. So the exchange will continue working with the SEC to bring the ETF to market, he said. VanEck expects to be the first issuer to launch its spot ETF. Bang, bang, look. All right. So that's what went down this week, brothers and sisters. We had the... don't worry, we're going to do shout-outs in a second, but we're going to be quick because I want to... Actually, so bang, there we go. And let's get to the shout-outs and the daily summary. So stick around for the summary. Let me just say hi to my brothers real quick. I had to school this piece of shit right here. Stark Crypto Stocks. Look at this moron. All right, I guess look at him. He's got 11,000 followers, right? Look at him. Hold on, let me show you what I told this guy. He's a moron. Hold on, let me show you. So this guy said, finally, to victory. The vote on the FT has passed. Biden will sign it tomorrow, which is what I just told you about, right? Biden will sign it tomorrow, he says. What an idiot. So I told him, actually, the FIT21 still has to pass the Senate. And he said, as it were done, or do you want to oppose his will? I'm not sure what he's trying to say there, so I gave him a couple question marks, and I said, you might want to amend your tweet to reflect the reality of the situation. And this fucking crypto moron says, probably not. So I was like, oh, okay then. And I left it there. But then this piece of shit, he actually tweeted back at me or replied to that. So I'm like, so he says, it's only a matter of a few hours for approval, Senate. Then Biden signs it, right? The signature. I was like, okay. I really am dealing with a true crypto bro who does not know how things work. I want to show you guys. Yeah, here he is. Strategist with global macro vision. Elliott Wave. Technical analysis. So I can tell you, anyone who tells you they trade Elliott Wave, idiots. Right? They count the five movements. Such shit. If you're a master, you know what I'm saying about Elliott Wave boys. Right? They're little five. You count the last 5 movements and then blah, 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 blah. I remember some asshole tried to teach me that back when I was first starting trading. Like, nice try, dickhead. Bitcoin owner. So this moron, he's got 11,000 followers. So sad. So he says to me, only a matter of a few hours for approval from the Senate. Then Biden signs it. And I said, and I was being kind to this guy because I know you guys have seen me talk to other people. And I call them names and I get really angry because this is the kind of thing, like, people believe this guy, and you're listening to a moron. He doesn't know anything about markets. The first candlestick chart he's ever seen is probably a Bitcoin one. you know. So I told him, no, actually, the relevant committees haven't even reviewed it yet. It seems to be you should probably learn a little about how the U.S. Congress actually works. The Senate will move the bill to committee probably next week. And if all goes well, we could get Senate approval in months. And he says days. And then what is he doing? Is that throwing me a kiss? So I'm going to reply to him live on air right now. Oh, he's a kissy face. Days. So what should I say to him? I'll just say something. Okay. If you say so. Don't quit your day job. Yeah, you're going to need that, buddy. You are going to need that. Don't quit your day job, bud. You're not going to be smart enough. Okay. If you say so, don't quit your day job. Bang. So, but these are the kind of crypto nerds that I know you idiots, I know you guys, not idiots, of course not. But I know that idiots, not you idiots, that idiots listen to. What a moron. Anyways, what was I? Oh, we were going to bang now. Look, as we're doing the shout outs. So look, Universal Misanthrope holding down our insurgency in Eastern Europe. Yes. Look, Loyalist and the head of security for CB News. And look, the the barbecue pitmaster of Noah Fest. Yes. I got to be quiet. My neighbor. Looks like she's having some sort of guests over, so let me be chill. Anyways, Universal Misanthrope, love you, brother. Bang! And I hope you start feeling better. Get that strength up, brother. Bang! Look, son of a... Oh, this guy, look at him. You see how to try to run away? Son of a bitch! Bang! 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 Got you wrong, kid! Son of a me! All right. Got you, brother. Holding out the chicken. Love you, brother. Bang! So... Man, we're on our way, though, right? Like, for fuck's sakes, finally out of America, right? I mean, it ain't complete. We were, you obviously heard what we read tonight. It ain't complete, though, but fuck's sakes, right? After all these years. Shomari, when? I know you didn't ask me, but a lot of people DM'd me and have asked me throughout the years, when, man, when? And I've always told you guys it's the same answer I have to tell. When the regs come, motherfuckers, man. Well, when is that, Shomari? Ask the politicians, brother, But just trust me, we're going to get there. And so here we are. Well, on the cusp. We're not here yet. It's kind of like inflation. We're close. We're close to 2%, but not there yet. And so at least for here in America, I mean, obviously you guys in Europe, airdrop, he's a European guy, so he already can have some chicken if those fuckers would just serve it to him. Serve it to him and Misanthrope. The Germans, right? I mean, serve the Germans the chicken, guys. What are you guys waiting for? Some options, some different stuff. So, but anyway, 007, love you, brother, see you, brother, bang. And look, great news, as you well know. All right, let's move on. Those are just other people. Technically bullish. Yes, long time, brother, with the crew. Long time, brother, with the CB News posse. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Bang. Oh, shit. Robbie Hardaway from the multiverse. Look. Robbie's from the multiverse. Yeah. He's of a higher rank than I. Look. He hasn't been around for a while. I guess they allowed him to go to some other planets and do some stuff. But every major event that happens, it's because of Robbie. Oh, yeah. Robbie, from the multiverse, he comes down and he shapes. He's sent here to shape him and more people, other guys like him. They're here to shape how humans do things, how they, the decisions they make for the big things. And that's what happened. That's what happened. You know what I mean? Remember, we got the FIT21. We got the FIT21 thing. And Robbie, he sent a battalion of other multiverse soldiers out to talk to the U.S. House and say, look, to the members and say, look, you should probably approve that. And they were like, nah, man, fuck Robbie. We ain't approving this shit. Bunch of green-haired kids with nose rings. We ain't approving this shit, Robbie. Robbie said, well, look. All right, you know how Robbie do. You know how Robbie be, and you know how Robbie get down. Probably pulled out a little bit of look, bang! The sour diesel. Yeah, multiverse level sour diesel. And he rolled that up. So the guy who runs the guy who runs Congress right now, his name is, I think, Mike Johnson. Something Johnson, right? Like just a basic name, Mike Johnson. So he said, look, Mike, you're not gonna approve any crypto regs? Mike was like, nah, man, fuck that. All those kids, all the scammers, all the rug pullers, we're not approving anything. Robbie said, look, dog. And I rolled up a big fat joint. It's a big fatty. It's a big old fatty. He said, look, Mike Johnson. And he lit it. And he hit it. He said, look, Mike, hit this. So Mike was like, what's that, Robbie? He's like, just a little something. Just for us to chat with. You know how Robbie do. You all know how Robbie be, and you all know how Robbie get down. So Mike Johnson hit that. And you know how it goes. The voodoo begins. You all know the voodoo begins. And Robbie was like, hey, Mike, remember earlier we were talking about, so now they've smoked it, right? It's half finished. Here's the joint, actually. Right? They smoked it down half finished. Right? Now the voodoo's working. Oh, yeah, the herbs they're in there now, doing the multiverse level herbs. So this gets right into a man. Multiverse. And so you know how Robbie always do. He goes, hey, Mike. Mike's like, yeah, what up, dog? Robbie goes, look, Mikey, wouldn't it be cool if you made regulations for cryptocurrency? Nah, man, I already told you, man, the green-haired kids. Hey, check it out, Mikey. Those green-haired kids vote. Huh. Yeah. They vote, Mikey. Wouldn't it be cool if you gave them some crypto and they thought that you were great and they voted for you? Wait. You die. Right? And then you know how the voodoo works. You know how it goes. The diesel. Zzz, zzz. And you know how Robbie gets to talking to them, suggesting things. Right? Yeah. You daggone right, Mr. Johnson. You'd be the greatest man in America. He'd be like, I would, Robbie. You know? And he goes, look, Robbie, I'm going to make sure that me and the Republicans and some Democrats, we're going to pass crypto legislation. We're going to get it passed, Robbie. Robbie's like, good idea, sir. Right. Robbie, remember, Robbie always makes them feel like it's their idea. That's genius, Mr. Johnson. Genius. What are you going to call it? I'm going to call it FIT21. And we're going to approve this, Robbie. You dang all right, you're going to approve it. But, and that's how, look, I always tell you the truth here. The underground, right? The behind-the-scenes shit. And that's how we really got FI21 approval, or FIT21 approval this week. You know how it goes, guys. Robbie. So look, thank you, Robbie, for moving us one step closer to victory. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Bye. Everybody thank Robbie. Right, here's this crypto, right? Here's the crypto guy. It's only a matter of a few hours for approval from the Senate. Then Biden signs it. Okay, buddy. He's going to be sad tomorrow morning when he wakes up with his dick in his hand and no fucking crypto regs. Look! All right, so that's everybody. Oh, I'm breathing! Look! I'm breathing! Let everybody see, brother. Bang! My neighbor's right here outside my window. I can't properly express the love. I can't properly express the love. You know I love you guys, though. Sir Royal Charles. Yes. Yes, Sir Charles. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Bang! He's got the chicken, as you can see. He's got the chicken, as you can see. All right, so that's enough, because this lady's probably going to freak out if I start yelling and screaming in here. You know how I like to get to my yelling and screaming, so let's get back to the Death Star. Bye. Welcome back, everybody. Look. All right. So we had a great show for you today as usual. Yeah. Well, it wasn't so special show, but just I want you to get your mind right about what happened this week, right? Because there's a lot of, like that idiot that I just showed you, I had to tell him, I don't think you know how Congress works, my friend. You know, a lot of that's the kind of shit I know that a lot of you guys listen to. A lot of you guys are fed feathers all the time and you eat it up. Well, that's not how we roll around these parts. So I'm here to always serve you the chicken, and hopefully you can tell the difference between chicken and feathers on your own. So look, let's get to the first story. The U.S. House approves the FIT21. So amazing. It's our first step. To full regulatory clarity here in America. Just like the Europeans and the Chinese, right? Full comprehensive regulatory clarity. Once you've got regulatory clarity, now you can have the investment vehicles, right? Just like I showed you. One Microsoft share, but 5 ways to invest in it. Well, that's how it works. And I want to tell you, well, why do you need those, Shomari? Well, because when you're a hedge fund or like a family office or like kind of these big, more kind of institutional type-ish trading guys, like you've got traders, you've got what's called a trading desk, right? And so your trading desks, you hire guys that trade in certain vehicles, right? Like if you want in the options market, you hire, I don't know, 5, 10 guys to just trade options for you. You tell them what to get and how to do it, and then they're the masters that get in there and make you a butterfly or a strangle or or just sell some puts, some naked puts, naked calls, whatever, right? Like those are your masters who do that option stuff, right? But if you want to be in the futures world, say leveraged futures, well, you have to have you have to have futures masters trading for you, like guys who know the market inside out, upside down, like every angle of the market, to know which futures to get you in and just all the different stuff that they do. I'm not a futures master, but I know more about options than futures, so I can't really go into detail like the options thing, but whatever it is that those guys, right, know. And then there's other types of derivatives, ETFs. Okay, well, which ETFs? Blah, blah, blah. What are the fees? All the things. These are ETF masters that you hire to trade for you, right? And so that's why you need investment vehicles, because not every hedge fund can come here. Right, like these Bitcoin ETFs that came out. Not every hedge fund guy or family office has an ETF trading desk. So they're sitting there waiting for some options contracts to come out, or just an options platform, or somewhere where they can send their options traders to start getting into. Do you understand? It's like an army. You've got, guys who drive tanks, guys who drive airplanes, guys on boats, different. So, you got your land, so tanks, boats, jet fighters, land, sea, and air. Yeah, but they can only fight their own thing, right? I mean, obviously the Air Force can bomb shit and stuff like that, but a submarine, you can't win a land war with you can't win a land war with submarines, right? And you can't win a naval battle with tanks. Right? And that's how a hedge fund works. You've got your different guys who are killers, your different desks that are killers and things, but you got to have the tools for them. You can't take a fighter jet pilot and go tell him to go drive a tank. He's not going to know how to do that. Do you guys get it? That's how the financial system works. You have masters right? I'm a Forex trader. I know about futures, and I did study options a little bit, but I'm not a master at that. If you were like, here, Shomari, take 100,000, trade it for me in the futures market, I'd be like, nah, dog. I don't know that shit like that. Yeah, if you say, here, Shomari, here's $100,000, make me more money in the Forex market, sure. Just give me 6 months, let's see how far we get, no problem. Let's see how far we go, And so that's how it is. And so that's why we need more and more investment vehicles coming into this space. Of all manner, of all kind. Like I said, options, blah, 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 all of it, derivatives, everything. Okay, so U.S. House has approved it. now it goes to the Senate. You read it. You know, it's not even in committee in the Senate yet. And so how it works is the House has sent their bill to the Senate. Let's hope the Senate just kind of goes, all right, this is good enough. And that's it. Vote on it. But they'll probably want to tweak it a little bit and have their own version. Then they'll come to what's called conference. They'll meet in what's called conference. I believe it's called meeting in conference. If I'm wrong, all right, tell me in the comments. But I think it's called call. They'll come to conference, and they'll work the bill out, and then they'll have their master bill. Both houses will vote on it, approve it, obviously, and then up to the president and hopefully for signing. So, bang! Now, finally, Ethereum ETFs clear the hurdle. So, we saw they got their 19B-4s. Was it 19B? I don't remember the number, but the B-4s approved. And so now we have to wait for the S1s to be approved. And that could take weeks up to months. You know, does the SEC fast track this and bang, bang? Or the SEC just be like, we're just going to let this roll its normal procedure. So, you know, that's all there is to really say about that. You know, like, so tomorrow there are not going to be Ethereum ETFs available on your TD Ameritrade account or your Charles Schwab account tomorrow. Okay, that's not going to happen. But soon. And so great for us, great for the markets, great for the universe and the multiverse. Bang! So on that note, let's shill it and kill it. Bang! Let's get you back to your wives and lives. Look, subscribe below and press the bell. You'll get an automatic notification when I do the show. And also press the thumbs up, please, for the algorithm. You get an automatic notification when I do the show. The greatest show on earth. Greatest show. Look, the multiverse. Look, my name's Shomari Clarke, and I love talking money. Bang! And I love talking crypto. Bang! This is the favorite time of my day. So thank you for having me in your home, and I'll see you all next time for another fun, fact-filled day of crypto talk. But until then, subscribe here and press the bell. Watch that video there and get your mind right. And I'll see you all next time. Look, my name's Shomari Clarke, and I love talking money. I love talking crypto. Thankfully for you, I'm always on duty. It's Shomari Clarke, always on duty. Bang! Love you guys. Yes. Over and out.